Ready?
Gate.
Don't get scared on me now, man.
No. Don't get nervous. Nah, don't get nervous. For sure.
Welcome back, Raw Nation, to another installment of Raw View. I get a better insight of these king and queens behind the scene. I'm your host, Cheno Royal, baby. I'm here with, what's your name, sir?
D-Nick's name changed to Notre Dame. That's an intro for you, man, right there. We're going to
Mr.
keep it like
Dame,
that.
how you feeling
doing,
today,
You know
bro?
what I'm saying? I'm trying to get used to the aesthetic of using this. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like my first time on a mic like this, but
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
cool.
man.
It's a little bit more solid than I
How's
thought.
the whole atmosphere for you?
The whole atmosphere is mad dope. Like I said, it's just an atmosphere that you feel like. I was like, dang, what did I pay? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
like,
I want you to be as
yeah,
comfortable as possible,
yeah,
almost
no,
like
no,
you're
no,
stepping into like the
no.
living room
You
right
got to
now.
watch your decorum down here. You got to be a little bit cool. You know
We
what
are
I'm
in the
saying?
basement of my mansion.
Yeah, you
I
know what I'm
don't want to
saying?
tell you
Tight.
where we.
Hey, like yeah, for real. You gotta watch what you're doing down here, man.
Hey,
It's like that.
we might
It's
be
like
at
that.
your crib right now. I
Hey,
mean,
hey,
all
man.
dressed out like that,
No, I
man.
knew we was coming to your basement, and I said this is what I had to put
Man,
on
man,
for
it's
the
got me
basement.
feeling underdressed in my own
He's at the
house right
crib.
now.
He's at the crib. Why would he have to get dressed? You
That's
understand me?
true. That's
That's what
true.
it is. He gets dressed at the house for
Hey,
sure.
man. Well, hey, I want to say first and foremost,
No
thank you
doubt.
for popping out, man. I
Absolutely,
appreciate you, man.
absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Yeah, anytime,
Yeah,
man. You know, we had to dive on into basically who you are and what you do.
no doubt.
And before that, how's the day, man?
The day cool, man. Yeah. I mean, I had Mondays is always. I believe that Thursdays is Friday Eve. People leave a
Okay.
lot of work on the table Friday.
Yeah.
They don't. They last day of working is Thursday.
Yeah.
They're not working Friday, and then it's like a double up when they get in there Monday.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody dreads Mondays.
Now, I have like a short, like little take about Mondays. Some
Okay.
people might agree, some people might not. I think that the things that you dread are the things. Well, number one, you shouldn't dread them
For sure.
because those are the biggest growing points.
Absolutely.
So,
I
like
say
the
that. I
points
dig
where
that.
you're the most excited, like Fridays and stuff.
For
Yeah, you
sure.
should definitely be strong on those points. But I think the times where you are going to get the most bang for your buck, the most learning point, the most you're going to grow from,
Yeah.
are from the days that you don't really want to go to work.
For sure. That's the ones that test with your tenacity
Yeah.
about, you know what I'm saying? Where you really is you gonna dig in, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to do when you got the energy.
Because it might sound corny to some, but it's just
Yeah.
like those same old like motivational tapes that are like, what
For
are you
sure.
doing with your life?
Yeah.
You know?
What was that?
But
IC?
it's just
No, that one ICDC college. You talking like the dude, like, what's wrong with you, man? Just go get the cut. Just get up. Just go. It's that easy. Just do it.
Nike.
Why you making it hard?
Yeah,
He was so
you
disappointed.
funny as hell.
He was so disappointed in your lack of direction and whatnot. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
I don't know what it was. Like at some point, I was just like, I don't know if it was like me having a kid or
Mhm.
what happened
For
that
sure.
made it to where like I was just like, like that actually makes sense. Like
For sure.
something snaps.
Absolutely.
But enough about me, man.
Yeah,
We
bro,
already know who
yeah,
we here to
yeah.
see.
Come on, man.
I mean, we already
Cheno
see
show.
we see the fit, we
For
see
sure.
everything going on.
Boom.
Hey, before we get into you again, we
Yes,
need
sir.
to shout out who is this?
This is Notre Dame, the notorious Damien. You understand me? D.A.M.E. Dance, art, music, entertainment, and everything else, man.
Not just you. I'm talking about the design fit. You
Oh
designed
man,
the fit.
check it. No, man. Listen, I wouldn't. It's almost a rule. Like when you can wear it. Like I mean, I don't want to give it out. Like it's not. If it was somebody that was being promoted, I had no problem. Like if somebody
Okay.
want to make me a brand ambassador all
Right.
day, but this was something I kind of picked up on. I
Okay.
said, if you know, you know.
All
You
right.
feel what I'm
All
saying?
right.
Boom. Because people be. I'm gonna put it like this: the people who act like they don't shop there, they be in there.
They be
You
in
feel what I'm
there,
saying?
of course.
So if I said it, they'd be like, "Oh, that's a no," but you be in there.
Hey,
Type.
if you feel affected by that, you know who
You
we
know-
coming at. You feel?
You know what I'm talking about, man. So yeah, it's like that. It's like
Yes,
that.
sir.
For sure.
But let's dive on into it, man.
For sure.
Who is Notre Dame, man?
Man, I mean, I think the question I posed to myself is how from Fort Wayne are you? And when I
Okay.
talk about, man, I think I was going to Norton Elementary. That's in Gary. You know what I'm saying? But I was doing preschool, kindergarten there. You know what I mean? Came
Right.
here Shambaugh Elementary, Fairfield. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bunch. You know what I'm saying? I'm at Bunch when Miss Greenland, I'm a first grade teacher. So I've been here since then. So we talking about 86. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's how long I've been in for. I was born St. Joe Hospital. So I was born here, and then I was like in the Gary for the first, like I said, 4 or 5 years. Then I've been in Fort Wayne since then.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just a take. I had to like address that because you hear a lot of things about Fort Wayne dudes, and I'm like, yeah, what you talking about? Is you talking like the 7 year rule, like you had to be here 7 years and now you a citizen, or are you talking about real Fort Wayne came here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Reservoir Park, Crown Colony, Little
Yeah.
Rays, you know what I'm saying? Oakland Court, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Before it was Chapo, you know what I'm
I
saying?
know
So
exactly where
yeah,
you at.
you know what I'm saying? So we talk about that from that type of time. So I done came up with guys that's been here, seen a lot of ones pass on, transition, everything else. So I just think that if you're talking about the 219 before it was even the 260, I'm somebody who definitely represents both codes as far as Fort Wayne goes, as far as the
419
culture.
Toledo.
No, 219.
Oh, two one
You
nine.
know,
I was like
that's what we
419.
used to share with everybody, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was like our chance to, like, you know what I'm saying, identify ourselves or separate ourselves, distinguish is the word I'm
Of
looking for,
course. Of course.
from everybody else. And so I was there for that change. 95 was that change. And by then, 95, I was doing a lot of stuff, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm from All Night Skating, I'm from Star Quest, I'm from Showdown, I'm from all that. You
Okay.
know what I mean? So it's like you really could take a trip if I get to talking about everything I've been through, everything I've seen. Uh, just coming to talk for the town and really get some things going. Because when I got this other content that I got coming out, it's gonna be like, am I lying? It's just a test
Okay.
of am I lying about it? Because I done been here that long. I'm not trying to get, people try to chase the clout and like get something started. I'm almost like, no, we on facts. I can tell you the truth. I was there. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? That part, and whatever we want to talk about, we can go there. But later for
I
that,
just wanted to ask, just because out of my own observation, off of just like listening to you,
for sure.
like it's given like a very like Eastern, like
Hmm.
New York,
Yeah,
like aesthetic. Like, do you
yeah.
have any ties over there in like New York,
Man, look,
or what's
I'm
going on?
I'm being real transparent on the Cheno show. I do a radio show. I got a radio show every Saturday.
Okay.
It's called Live from Last Night. It's on WLT
Shout out. Shout
95.7.
out.
Shout out. And I don't know, like I'm in love with New York. You know what I'm saying? Never been there. You know what I
You
mean?
have like this vibe.
Yeah, yeah. I
like
promise you.
like if you just busted out a Pop Smoke lyric right now, I'd be like, bro, this is Pop
This
Smoke.
him.
Like,
This him. Nah, and I think it's just I don't want to say brand building or character. It's just like I almost been into it for so long. I don't even really know. Like I want to say like Fort Wayne doesn't have a identity, so to
Mhm.
speak. Coming up here, you see when somebody's from somewhere else, like Detroit, Chicago, somewhere else. Everybody we so impressionable that we be like, man, where you from?
Right.
We because we here, you know what I'm saying. So when we see that, so I think it was just a matter of a lot of people didn't know what Fort Wayne was, where it was, anything else. And I'm not saying we trying to add the New York accent or something to fake it, you know what I mean? But it's just it gives you that space where you able to be yourself. You feel me? And I think it's just my love to New York. I never say, oh yeah, I'm from one of the boroughs or
Right.
I'm from no. I just say no, I'm in love with New York to whatever. I just try to adapt it into my prestige or personality for the radio.
Well, I'm glad you said that,
Yeah,
because which would bring me to my next question, which would be, since I call them the three kings, so I say we're in between three kings, which
for sure.
are Detroit, you got Indy, and you got Chicago.
Uh
Okay, so how would you think that Fort Wayne is distinguishing themselves from those? Because
man,
I know we try, and a lot of people, like, it might sound similar, but I know that there is something about us that is still different. Like, we have our own thing.
it's almost like, okay, so if anybody knows anything about Fort Wayne, it's the city that saved itself. 1982, they had a flood.
Yeah.
I want to say like April, May, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where they get the city on the hill, city that saved itself. And I think me and my man was talking, and we kind of look at it like it was an island, right? It's like everything to do. It's like you wouldn't know about Fort Wayne unless you went there. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
so whatever to do anything that you're trying to do. So where Chicago is a metropolitan, you know what I'm saying? Detroit is kind of, it gives you the gritty vibes or whatnot. What was the other one you said? You said like Michigan,
Now,
Chicago, Indianapolis. Indianapolis, they're already big cities. Fort Wayne is like a small town, but it has the personality of a big city. You feel what I'm saying? You're not gonna come here. It's like only the people who are here says there's nothing to do. You know what I mean? We've
mhm.
had like the most influx of tourism and people coming to see what
It's
Fort
been
Wayne is
growing.
about.
It's
It's
been
been growing.
booming
It's been booming. You
crazily.
know what I'm saying? Even where we are right now, your mansion. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Your
Yeah, you
basement.
feel me?
You
Hey,
know,
hey,
it's like that.
we
But
have a clean view,
we
like
have a
right over
clean
there.
view, a royal view of what's going
Yeah,
on.
ah.
But no, it distinguishes itself because I feel like it takes pieces of bigger cities and puts it in there, but it still stays into that small town circumference. So it's like you getting a taste of everything. I know they say taste of Chicago, but you come to Fort Wayne with every culture that's here and everything that there is here and
Mm,
how it's designed. It's just, you get somebody who's really from the town. You know what I mean? It's not just what you kind of see on the tourist information to visit Fort Wayne.
right.
It's like if you with somebody who's actually from here, you really can hit some spots, and it's like a treasure trove. It's like a hidden gem. You know what
Now
I mean?
we're always gonna have like different haters or skeptics out there that are
No doubt.
gonna be talking about how they feel about it.
Hmm.
Obviously, shout out J Tubbs, one of the, if not the leader, I would say, when it comes to when it
Is
comes to
it?
like pushing like stuff like events going
Yeah.
on.
Is it?
J Tubbs.
No, 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 no. It's definitely J Tubbs. His event, Con. Is it?
Oh,
I know he had the. I know he had a.
he
When
got.
we celebrate hip hop.
Hey Tubbs, don't come for me,
Don't
man.
come for us.
I'm
Don't come for
forgetting it
us.
right
It's some
now.
kind.
You
It's some
know,
kind.
I
But it's
accept
a
the
dope event.
responsibility.
It's a dope event. I'm gonna say that.
You know,
You know what I
don't
mean?
no chair shots, no chair shots. You know,
Yeah.
but definitely one of the spearheads, I would say. There's a lot of events that go on that people just don't know about,
Mm-hmm.
and then people instantly overlook it.
Yeah.
It is somewhat ignorance, but I would say it's also just like you just need to look.
For sure.
You know, like especially for a lot of people who want to be in this industry, it's just like you got to understand, if you don't want a handout, you want to earn it that way, then that
Yeah.
means that you got to go out there and you need to look around. Nobody's going
For
to hand
sure.
it to you.
For sure.
So what's a good way that you would say for like young and upcoming artists to like get out there, get their hands dirty, and actually
Man.
understand the scene, so to speak, so then that way they can find the right network.
Man. I think a lot of local artists right now, if you're really talking about that, a lot of local artists are gonna be upset if I don't mention what I believe to be the mecca of local hip hop. It's
Okay.
Carl's Tavern.
Yeah.
Even though it's stationed in New Haven, you just not going. If you looking for local talent that hits the stage, I believe that Carl's Tavern is the local hip hop. What a small room is the battle rap. You feel what
True.
I'm saying?
True.
So you really get to test your chops, test the
True.
water, see where you
Shout
at.
out Davis and them.
Yeah, shout out
Hey,
Davis
I
them.
actually
You
got a
know what I
show
mean?
coming on the 26th, so make sure
Yeah,
y'all pop out. I'm just saying,
yeah.
but anyway.
So if somebody was to beeline there and see how that operates before you kind of get discouraged with what the other scene is, I'm gonna be reserved on how I feel about the scene in totality, so to
Yeah.
speak. But I view it from a different lens than other people would. So I just let it be that. You know what I'm saying? I used to get caught up on, man, y'all should look at it like this, and I just had to understand they can't. So if it was anybody that was asking my, like, the transparent advice, no shade, no whatever, hey, go to calls, catch one of the show there, connect with somebody and see what that show like, connect with some of them first, and then come back into town with a whole new view of what it is, bro.
It's like that age old thing where it's just like, you just got to let people go out there and learn for
Yeah,
themselves,
yeah,
because a lot of the time, like, I get it sounds like it's like easier said than done. Like us being like, oh, well, I can go out here and I can just give you like the advice you need, and
mm-hmm.
in that way you'll take it and run with it.
And
Not a
it's,
lot.
yeah,
That's harder than what people make it seem.
no doubt.
And like most people have to get out there. I'm one of them.
Yeah,
Everybody goes through that spurt of where like
had to test the
you
water,
got,
see what it was
yeah,
about, for sure.
exactly. Because like just because somebody said it's hot doesn't mean it's hot.
Don't mean it's that you got to like, even me saying go in the car. You might go there and be like, I don't know. You might go to a show. Every show ain't busting. That just happens. Every show ain't busting at the other, number one party spot. You know what I mean? It was number four at one point in time. Pierre's. Everything ain't
Yep.
pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Everything don't pop there. That's like where everybody go to. But everybody has hit and misses. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I know everybody trying to get into that place where they're doing venues or they're doing shows. But if I'm talking about a consistent one, you local talent, if you can handle cars, then you should be able to go out there and say, well, yeah, I did this. If you can't handle a small room, you can't expect to
You
touch a
can't be
big
if you
stage.
can't handle one person in the
Come
crowd, you
on,
can't
man.
handle a
You
thousand
can't
people in the
handle a
crowd.
thousand, or how is you expecting a thousand
Yeah,
when
right.
you can't get? 10 to come out.
Yeah, how are you gonna move one? You gotta be able to move one person,
Come on,
bro.
bro. You got one person got to feel. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
hey, I could just sing to one person that whole night with
Boom.
a million people in the
That's my
crowd.
focus right there. You know what I'm saying? That's my focus point. I don't care about
Hey,
the
but
rest
they're
of
all
them.
gonna feel how I'm talking
To that
to
one,
you, sir,
boom,
to
yeah,
you,
man.
man.
They might try to come where you even directing the energy to, like, why he only talking to you, type. You know what I'm
Why
saying?
is he so
Why
aggressive?
is he so
Damn.
aggressive? Because I'm really
Cause
shook.
I'm mad. I'm
I'm
mad
mad.
at you.
It's you.
Where my money at? That's all I was saying.
For sure, man. Yeah.
But we heard about the past.
Hmm.
Let's bring it into the present.
For
So
sure.
what's going on with Mr. Dame now in the present?
Man, I'm really focusing in. I just want to talk. It's crazy. We was just talking about Carl Seven Greenhouse. George Green gave me an opportunity. He had a show there called Locked In, and it was like kind of coincidental because I had an approach that I was taking to life at the time, and I've been trying to do it for like 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? Where I just don't want to believe that when I was incarcerated, that was the most focus that I had as far as spiritual, mental, physically. I don't want to believe that it took for me to be incarcerated
Mm.
for me to actually tap in the way I'm supposed to. So my test was like, well, can you recapture some of that same spirit, some of those same habits out here and lock yourself in instead of being locked up or locked away? You know what I mean? So when he came with the locked in joint, I'm like, yo, let me
Get in
slide
there,
on
bro.
there, you know what I'm saying? And he opened up, most people be like, nah, I got a locked in show, you know what I mean? Roster's full, this, that, and the third. Never worked with George before, but he was like, you know what? I'm all for it. Let's go do it. And I think right now, I think that was like the last performance that I was doing without having like things set in place instead of just running around here off the cuff. It's cool to do it. Matter of fact, it's more organic to do it when you're doing things like this. When it's interview, you just being genuine, asking me questions. It's cool to come off the top there. You
A
don't
lot of
really
people,
want
I don't know why. It's just hard for people just ask us.
just hey, yeah,
Just be like, hey
just
man, what's going
what's
on?
going on. But I guess they think they got
That
whatever. They gotta make
yeah,
sure it's perfect or whatnot. But when you kind of like, if you serious about your craft, especially like you said, if you're coming in locally and you trying to figure out the business part of it, you really can't be running in places without things being like contract, black and white paper, you know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of getting into that. But in exchange for that, because a lot of people say I should just be getting a contract. I'm that dope.
yeah,
Me even saying that is like, nah, I gotta make sure I'm checking all boxes as far as what a performer should get. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I just had somebody today and I just want to take a small whatever because people they like not considerate of what they may say to somebody. Now I'm glad I got a little tenacity about myself. You know what I mean, a little temperament, a little resilience.
Okay.
Second dude came up to me today was like, second dude in probably last year or something. First dude was at the 42 Doug. You know what I mean? The first time he was supposed to come out, we was in the joint, the peanuts or whatnot, and he said it. It's like, man, you fat as F. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Boom. And I took that like, dang, bro, I'm trying to even remember where I know you from. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect. Boom. But I learned the lesson that, man, he was like gun ho about saying something negative to me. Like, if you know me from back in the day, like, out of everything you could have talked about, you was talking about weight gain. Okay. Yeah. People get it big, whatever. I'm not effed up about it, right?
Right.
But the dude today was almost like I hadn't seen him since the joint. I've been out for almost 7 years. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So probably 10 I seen this dude 10 years ago. Set him by his whole government. What's up, man? How you doing? This, that, and the third, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Oh, yeah, man. And he was looking at me like he didn't know me. I was like, man, it's dang. Dang.
You know
Boom.
who it is.
Boom. He like, yeah, man, you just getting fat, man. Boom. And now I was like,
What in
I'm
the
like,
world?
I'm like, dang, bro, you went past me saying what up to you, recognizing you,
It was
stopping
like
you,
3 levels that you
boom,
passed
that
just to
you
get to
passed just
this.
to get to that. And I said, you never know what somebody going like. What if I was on my last leg? Because the next thing he asked me, he was
I
like,
could have
"What? How
snapped.
you been?"
I
No,
could
no,
have.
no. He was like, "How you been?" I was like, depressed. You feel what I'm saying?
Dang.
I was like,
Yeah.
I've been depressed. It's been hard for me. I lost my grandma, lost my uncle. We just celebrated my
Wow.
uncle passing. When Locked In was going in, they was doing the 23rd annual year Reservoir Block Party, and they did
Yeah.
it in my uncle's name because I just lost my uncle who was like my brother in November. So I was really depressed, bro. And I'm not talking about that's an excuse for the weight gain. You didn't know what I was going through. Maybe I
Right.
just wanted to hear a kind word from this was my Reservoir Park homeboy. You the one I used to kick it at the park with. So I'm
Yeah.
almost about ready to ask you why y'all ain't see you at the block party or what trying to catch up.
Right.
Here you go talking about my weight.
That
I'm glad,
happens,
man. I'm
man.
glad I
That's
was tough. If I wasn't
crazy,
tough, I
man.
would have been like, that's it. And mental health is serious, bro.
Those are the days that we just talked about. Segue back to the
Segue back to
beginning,
the
man. Those are
beginning,
the
man.
days. That's where you. That's where you
Yeah,
show the real work, the real
yeah,
resilience.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to the point of the locked in, he didn't even know when you asked me what's going on in my life. I'm like, yeah, I'm really locked in on that. I got gym memberships. I know how to get back to it because my whole thing was, freedom is a responsibility. You know what I mean? And I ain't gotta get too much into it now, but it's a responsibility, and people don't understand that when you locked up and locked away, it's certain things you gonna do at a certain time, and certain things you can't even do. The phone don't ring on the other side of there. You go in the commissary every 2 weeks. You ain't going to the store every day.
Yeah.
It's certain stuff you're not going to get. You feel what I'm saying? Certain food they're not gonna serve. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to talk to your girl. You're not gonna be able to talk to your kids. You're gonna have to zero in. And it's a lot of things that you're not worried about also. So when you got that kind of environment, then the purpose of you having your focus is there. It's like automatic.
Right.
Can you do that when you have all that responsibility out here? They leaning on you, they looking to you, they depending on you. Can you still keep that? So I respect people who are in the gym constantly just from their mind, you know what I mean? And people who maintain their physique or anything coming out the joint, because it's easy to get it, but it's easier to lose. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody said it's hard to once you lose it, it's hard to get, but once you get it, it's hard to lose. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I would honestly say it's the other way around.
You think I'm
No. Like I can hear what you're saying.
Mhm.
I think the part where people get too content, people just want to be comfortable. If
For
we're being
sure.
if we're being 100%
For
honest,
sure.
people will do something. The path of least resistance is what we're always going to take.
I think
That is
that
not,
I
not
can see,
the
I can see
the
that.
1% that is not, and they take the complete opposite, and they're doing
Right.
everything wrong, or what people call wrong,
For
are
sure.
pretty much the millionaire billionaire people, because like they're doing stuff that we're like, oh, that's not fitting in this category, and
Most
that don't
definitely.
work with this, and blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
just because we don't see what you're seeing.
Right.
But just
Right.
because we don't see what you're seeing doesn't mean that it's not going to come
For
true.
sure.
And I would say that a lot of people fall victim to, um, once you get there,
Hmm.
it's kind of like that old like coach where they're just like they make you run suicides like for like all
Yeah.
practice, and
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, once you're tired, man, all right, now the real work
Now,
begins.
what do you
That's
mean?
that's the
Whoa.
and they're like, what do you mean? We've been doing this for
we've been
five
doing we've been
hours
doing the real work whole
Yeah,
time.
what you talking about? And it's just like that's just what, in my opinion, what the life, and even just working out, something as simple as working out
Hmm.
is like as soon as you get to there, like I haven't drank pot for over 10 years. I haven't
Man,
ate pork for
congratulations.
thank you. I haven't ate pork for like 6 7 years,
Yeah.
and then dairy another 3 to 5 years. I haven't done dairy.
Slowly cutting
Yeah,
everything
so
out.
it's just slowly cutting things because of like how I feel now.
Hmm.
Like there'll be times where it's like I could see myself, the weight will fluctuate, but
Hmm.
I found a weight that's comfortable for me where
Hmm.
I can keep the consistency of maintaining your body.
Right.
That's where it's just like, all right, you put in the work. Now
Right.
this is where the real work begins, because now you got to maintain it
Yeah.
every day, every
Yeah.
day, every day, every day.
Yeah.
You know,
But you making it a lifestyle. I think that's the biggest thing about it. Instead of just making it an instantaneous, I want to get slim or fit or snatched, as the ladies say, or whatever that the
yeah,
men say for the summer, and that just be a season, and then we back to eating grandma. No disrespect, grandma's cooking. You know
right,
what I'm saying, for the holidays, and you just right back when you making it a lifestyle. You going years
yeah.
without doing certain things, and subtracting certain things out of your diet. You're now making it a lifestyle where it shouldn't be that easy. But you could testament to that because.
I just want my body. The way I like, especially me talking about the body weight that suit me. I
Hmm.
honestly just wanted to get to where I think that I'm at my peak, where it comes to like my body limit.
Right.
Now I feel like, this is me personally. A lot of people who are like bodybuilding or doing extra things, you're doing extra things
Hmm.
that is not what your body is going to be.
For sure.
Your body is not supposed to be that. You're doing
Okay.
other things, which is cool. If that's
Right.
what you want to do, build
Right.
your body, do what you
Right.
got to do.
Right.
But I'm saying 9 times out of 10, when you get to be 70, 80,
Hmm.
them things gonna fly. If Arnold Schwarzenegger, man, what's
Yeah,
going on,
come
bro?
on, man.
What's
Come on.
going
I'll
on?
be seeing a lot of
A
beat
lot of
up
these old
bodies.
bodybuilder where it's
I'll
just
be
like
seeing that,
it's
man.
sagging, man.
Ronnie Coleman, and
And it's no
Casper
shade,
Paralyzed.
man.
No
Y'all look
shade,
great,
but
but
it just ain't because even a muscle is a tear. It's a tear. You done tore something, and then you got to rebuild it. That's
so to all my people, where it's just like you got there,
mm-hmm.
you didn't say you just said your prayers and you ate your vitamins, brother. You didn't do
we
the classic Hulk Hogan, but it was just like you did what you had to do. You had a routine. You got there. You got shredded,
for
man.
sure.
and you as shredded as you're gonna be, there's nothing wrong with
There's
that,
nothing
man.
wrong staying there.
That's your picture
Maintain.
perfect right there.
Boom. Maintain. For sure.
But to tie in what you said something earlier, I was just talking to my bro at work, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
and we are talking about how a lesson that even I had to learn. Like somebody said it to me when I was in my early 20s, and now even to this day, I'm like kind of unraveling it, and I'm kind of getting a better grasp of it.
For sure.
Is where a lot of people just don't want to start anything until they believe like they have the right tools. They don't want to start a family because they
Right.
think that they don't have enough money. They don't want to do a business because they don't think that they have enough money. They don't want
Mm-hmm.
to start rapping or whatever because they don't think they have the skills. And it's just like, I mean, but when is the right time?
Right.
You know, like when is
Right.
that really going to be? Because before you know it, 1 year's going to turn to five, five's going to
For
turn to
sure.
10, and then pretty soon, the whole time that you spent preparing
It's over with.
is just over.
It's
Like
to
you
know
just
no they
wasted the whole
everybody to the next
window.
thing. Yeah. They on to
And it's
something
just
else.
so the best advice I was giving to him is something that somebody gave to me was just like, just start it,
Mm-hmm.
just do it, like we
Mm-hmm.
were talking about earlier.
I think they say continuous growth is better than delayed progression.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
because you learn along the way, man.
along the way, if they I know David Shands, he's doing the podcast thing right now, podcast summit. He's like the number one guy for a podcast. I know he works with Eric Thomas and everything else, but that's what he said. He started with a thumbnail. Certain things that he just even said was he was like he could touch his kitchen, like he was in his dining room
Yep.
and he could put his hand in his kitchen. It was so small in there. What he started with, it's just like you said, you just can't wait because everything starts from now, like Pac
It's
say, man.
crazy that you say that because I started this podcast in my own kitchen, like
Yeah.
during
Come
2020
on,
when
man.
we were in lockdown. I
Right.
was inviting people to the crib,
Come
and
on.
then it took wifey being able to be like, "Nah, I'm not having these people in my
It's
house,"
too many people over here.
and I'm
Like,
just like,
yeah.
you right."
Yeah. She wrote that in the new lease.
Yeah,
She said, we're moving
yeah.
and your
Once we
podcast is
move,
done.
that is out of the house.
That is out of the
We
house.
are not
Yeah.
doing this.
You're leaving the
And
podcast here
I'm
at the
just
whole
like, hey,
crib.
love you, baby. Guys, we
See
ain't
that?
doing this.
My fault.
Yeah.
My fault.
So we transitioned that to doing like I was over there in the alleys, like
Mm-hmm.
showcasing. I even do it sometimes in the summer. So if you're looking for like an interview or whatnot,
Let's
hey
go.
man, I'm trying to every summer I'm gonna still try to showcase like artwork around the city. We're doing podcasts around artwork in the alleys with the murals.
No doubt.
So
Sound dope.
pop out. But with all that being said,
Yeah.
what's something that you would like to see happen? I know I was just going on a
Mm.
rant monologue about the murals and everything going
Yeah,
on in the
no, I
city.
don't even think you got lost in your whatever. I think we both was like envisioning because they can't see, but we know what those murals and what that scene look like.
Yeah,
Those alleys and art
a
crawl and
lot of people
everything.
don't
Cause
even
a
know
lot
that
of
they
people don't
there.
know that they there. They like y'all got like the flyest alleys. See, that's another thing. It's just about Fort Wayne. We was talking about how you had said it. How does it identify itself or distinguish itself from other cities? It's not too many cities you're gonna go down and you got this high class alley that you going down with this artwork in
Right.
there. So mad dope. I think one of the things that I'm not gonna see is like I said, just tying back to what we was talking about as far as how long I've been here, how long I've been in the city. And I think I've gotten off the controversial point. I think I had look what was perceived as a controversial spark last year. And I think it wasn't understood. It was more or less like when the and I don't have to get into it too much. It was just when the cipher thing was real big. You know what I'm saying? The city cipher thing was real big.
Which cipher? Because like there was like cipher after cipher,
The
cipher after
so the
cipher.
entire cipher category. That's where I'm gonna stay with
Okay,
it. Just
okay,
where I'm
okay.
staying safe. The entire cipher saga. Let's call it that. And I think that I was misunderstood because my position was more or less like we were focused on one city that had did a cipher and
Okay.
then we kind of like tried to respond to it instead of it being our own thing or us doing something that was totally wasn't a cipher to kind of be the city. It just felt like we was trying to coattail off what they were doing,
Well, it
and
just
I'm
made
like,
sense that Indy was gonna do something because like that what they had
All Star Game
yeah,
was
they had the
there.
All-Star game, and then plus Pacers fresh off the
Come
finals
on,
and
man.
too like
It made sense for them to
it just
do it.
made all that makes sense. Like even during
Yeah,
the finals, if they did something again, like
yeah.
I'd be like, look, that makes
That's
sense.
it.
That makes sense.
What was it? WNBA All Star Weekend was
Yep,
there
that made
this
sense too.
weekend. If you did it this weekend, again, I would have been like, yes,
Yes, that makes sense.
your city,
Yeah.
your city busting right now for sure.
So it's just like getting on that thing of just like if something pops off here,
Right,
do something then.
dude. Come on, man. If it comes down, like,
Make it make sense.
why we? And I'm gonna just say this, and I'm not so much as I'm gonna move. Big Fort Cipher. We just had the Big Fort Fest. We just had a lot of acts come down there.
That'd be cool.
That would have been dope.
Yeah.
But see, it's already passed though.
It,
Nobody.
it
I
has.
was like,
But
where's
even if like you hey, that might be some
it
hey,
might be something
you
next
spitting
time. It might
ideas.
be next time.
You
You know what I'm
might
saying?
have to hush
And
over
might
there
have to,
spitting the whole game
we might
plan.
have to talk after this. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
maybe.
Go upstairs to your kitchen table. You know what I'm saying? But
Shit.
yeah, for sure.
But
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I don't want to cut you
No,
off.
you good. I'm good.
I was gonna say, like you were talking about with the ciphers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta stir some stuff up real quick. Who is your favorite one? And I mean favorite person on one of these ciphers. It could be any of the ciphers.
Hey man, I'm gonna say
There are some killers on some of these ciphers.
if it's cliche, if they say I'm going for the radio, they like, man, he going for the radio pick or the iHeart. I'm gonna tell you this. I think it's 3 a.m. in the AM, 3 Finch. He was like
Yeah,
the first one that kicked off the 260 heat check.
yeah.
Zell Bless, you know what I mean? Word out the pressure. Word out the who else was on there that I liked? Vils, word out the Vils.
Vills.
You know what I'm saying? But 3 French AM in the AM, the first one that kicked it off. I think he reside in Atlanta right now.
Yeah.
I think he calling it for one of the top cipher
You think
verses.
he kicked it?
Yeah, man. And that was the second one. So that was after the
Yeah,
one.
that was after the main
The
one.
main one. So I mean, yeah, if my personal opinion, that was probably that was the one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
No doubt.
shout out Finch.
Yep.
Shout out everybody that did their thing.
Mhm.
I know Blanco did one that I was in.
Okay.
Who I can't even remember who produced the heat check, and then the original with Cam and I think
Cam and
Tweezy and
yeah, and I think Big G had some. Word out to Big G. I
yeah,
think Big
Big
G
G was on that.
had something to do with that. I think he had something to do with the production too. But Zell Bless produced the 260 heat check.
Okay.
T Weezy recorded that too.
Okay.
So and then I'm I don't want to say because we talking about the cipher, like you said, I want to mention Yajita, Fresh Two Times.
Oh my God, yeah.
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 I didn't. Theirs was pretty dope.
They did
too.
one too.
Theirs was pretty dope too. So
I think that was recent, wasn't it? Somewhat recent.
Somewhat recent, but somewhat after they kind of let I respected it because they let the buzz die down, and then they
they
dropped
did
theirs.
something.
They was like, we don't want to drop ours, you know what I mean, instantaneously with what everybody else is doing, just to kind of whatever. Let's put some space in between it. So I respect
Well,
that.
since you said all that, I got shout out my dog Prince. Shout out Prince Jr.
Yep.
Fresh
Yep.
with their thing come out. Yajita.
Yep.
I think Pressure was on that one too.
Yep. Oh yeah, they did do a second one. I did see. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. I do remember that. It's like
My
that.
bad about other people that I'm missing because it's been a while since I even watched that.
Yeah.
But,
It's real.
But yeah, man. Hey, go ahead. Thank you again, brother.
For sure.
I appreciate you for coming on now.
Yeah.
Hey, let me know like if I should have this man on again.
Yeah, man. Let me know.
Psyche.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Cheno Royal. Cheno Royal, how y'all feeling? What's good? Look, it's editing man Cheno, so you know time is money. But your boy, Mr. Notre Dame himself, had more to say. So we're gonna dive right into a part 2 of this interview. It's very first. No, it's unheard of in Royal View history. So let's get into it. You ready? I'm ready.
So, all right, man. So we getting ready to talk about family.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I get we all have things that go on in our past, present. We even talk about it all the time with future. We talk about what's going on, birthdays, events, maybe special events and whatever. But I know something that's going on with me right now is I'm having, BM drama, Obviously, we don't want to say too much.
Don't
want to get too
not too
caught
much
up.
on the children's mothers.
Right. It's all love at the end of the day. But at the very end of the day, that is my son's mom, and I love my son. So
for sure,
got to keep it cordial. But with that being said, what's going on with you, man? Anything going on in life?
I mean, So when we speak on that subject, just for me, because I made the mention of, you know, my content directing people to go look at what I'm talking about. What I don't want to do is I don't want to like submerge people and drown them in like court cases or like what's happening on in the court.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be the cliche child's father who's mad he has to pay child support. Let's put this disclaimer out there. Nobody is upset about having to pay for a life that they brought into the world.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Right.
But I think people get the legal system and the criminal process confused, right? And a lot of men, we don't have to put no race on it, no ethnicity or anything like that, but a lot of men, when they're dragged into the child support under a criminal process lens,
Mm-hmm.
they suffer financially.
I might get flack for it, but I look more at the system as just it's a sexist system at this point. It might
Say
have
that.
worked. It might have worked back then.
Right.
But you know, we outgrow things.
For sure.
Certain things outgrow their time period. Certain things were supposed to be for certain times.
Absolutely.
And that's it. I don't rock the same clothes that I did back in 2006.
Not at all. I done did an outfit change in this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I did too. I just had to put the glasses on.
Put the glasses on at the gate.
That's
like
it.
You said,
it's all energy. It's
all
pressure.
energy. Yeah, you gotta change. I gotta get on the sidebar. I gotta get on my grown man. Whatever.
Okay.
At one point in time, I still
talk to me. I'll talk back.
I still sidebar. I do dress childish still. For my age, I will admit that. You know what I'm saying? My mother will be proud that I admitted that.
Okay.
But in the next,
I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you too, bro.
in the next 2-3, I do have to, you know, kind of transfer over to my age in clothing. You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
there's only just a hat that barely fits your head.
Barely. You know what I'm saying? It's right. It got a cuff.
But as long as it's hanging on,
that's all. I ain't gonna put the whole thing.
It's with the fit.
Yeah, something.
I just see him grabbing it on his way out. Yeah, give me this.
For sure. But
no, you dripped out though. You dripped
a little
out.
bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like you said, it's I don't want to call it like you said. You don't want to catch a lot of flack for it.
Nope.
But I do want to say that a lot of people, when they almost look like child support is a cliche. It's an old narrative. It's like people need to grow up, just pay it or do whatever they need to do. But what I don't think they understand is when they're talking about a garnishment and a child support payment, there's two things. I talk about this a little bit on my side, but the garnishment, the federal maximum amount that they're supposed to be able to take for a garnishment is 25%. The only exception is alimony and child support.
It's all based off how much
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the only exception is child support and alimony.
Yeah.
And so they basically like whatever the payment we say that whatever they come in and say that you owe, they will take whatever percentage it is. So I like a lot of people to try to imagine going to work 2 weeks, you know what I mean? You're getting paid weekly, bi-weekly, whatever, and 60 to 70% of your income being taken from your check before you even get it. It's like taxes and then 70% of what was left from that, and then that's what you got. And now people should understand why dudes be locking about child support.
I'll drop a bigger bomb, and like some people might take it the wrong way, but it is what it is.
For sure.
I will say that it's just like with the whole, and baby, I love you. Just
no doubt.
Just the same way as like females going into the workforce, right?
For sure.
They are definitely welcome. We need them, but long time ago, that was not the plan. That was not. They are not doing this for your interest. They are not. They are not wanting you and pushing you into the field just so you can be like, oh, I'm a boss chick.
I can do it.
I'm a boss. I can do this.
I don't need no.
They're not doing it for the right reasons. All the head honchos are like, nah, man, we can tax both of them, bro. We could tax two people at the same time in the same household.
For sure.
Bro, we got this. It's more money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all money, just the same way as child support, bro. They're wanting to tax us more, especially like they prey on young men. Like they expect us to be young and dumb. We're like that. You ever seen a dog when it's like growing up and it's like all clumsy, it's all floppy,
no doubt,
can't stand up? That's us.
Yeah.
Like when we
when we in that
right when we get out
stage.
of high school, it's like we dropped into the world.
Boom.
And then we just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody's really helping us. You know, we got people like maybe in our community so help guide us, but like that's been a lack. Like we've lacked in like the communities, and it's been coming back. Shout out to everybody that's making a difference right now. But I'm saying like that's what we've been lacking for like X amount of years. So
And I think that's where my place is. I think that's the reason I'm so gun ho about revisiting the topic, because when you talk about community and the works that you do and kind of the work that you put in, that's what I'm seeing that I'm being faced with
yeah,
to actually do. And so if I ask what's like my purpose, I talk to my God about what's our cross. Why are we doing the things we're supposed to be doing? Not the things we love to do. You know what I mean? Because like you said, artistry, we both do the music thing,
right.
hosting the shows and all that. But if I ask myself, why am I this guy in this skin at this time right now? And what is it that I'm experiencing that
Hmm.
I could pass on to somebody, is the criminal process that I'm experiencing. It's not even about the kids, so to speak. Like, I don't have to put the personal business out. Like, I'm fighting to even put the personal thing out there, because that's the Kansas City shuffle. I like to say they get you in there and they get you emotional with your child's mother and everything else, and the whole play is not even about that. You know what I'm saying? I think my child's mother can't even see. I'm not even focused on what you may be caught up about. I'm talking about I can't actually be a man standing on his 1-2, standing on his 10, with the way that this is bearing down on me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not, oh, I don't want to pay for my kid. I know about school clothes. I know about school shopping. I know stuff he need. I know if he get into sports,
yeah,
academics, his hobbies. I know all of that. That wasn't on you. That's agreed that we were supposed to do that together.
right.
But when it cuts into my finances to the point that I can't even maintain employment, it's a problem. And the thing is that I'm actually going into these courts and I'm not taking, oh, I'm gonna just go find the money from somewhere. I'm like, no, we have to adjust my payment to a place where I'm able to pay that.
And I think things are like what we talked about. Things are changing nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
but that's only because of how bad it has gotten, at least for men.
For
And like this
sure.
isn't me. Like this is never on the show where it would be a women's bashing area.
Never.
This will never. I love my queens. I love
For
everybody out
sure.
there. But we have to just because I say that does not mean we can't recognize what has happened with men. And I feel like that's what's been going on in
Yeah.
society, is like men can't say something
Nah.
without it being met with kind of like it's like a feeling.
Yeah.
So it's like somebody could catch a feeling
It's
off of
like
what you're saying,
defensive. They getting
and then
defensive.
they get extremely defensive, and then it's a shame tactic.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
gonna
what are you
shame you
doing?
for how you feel.
Right.
And it's just like, just because I'm saying this doesn't mean I'm trying to come at you. I'm just trying to tell you how the world is. Men are more observational creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Like we go off of what we see, or like what really is.
Right.
Like we're not always gonna tap in, and we'll be honest. I'll be honest. Like we're not really always gonna be tapped into our feeling.
Right.
So there might be a time where somebody might be like, bro, like
Mm-hmm.
chill. Like
Yeah.
somebody's going through this, bro. Like
For sure.
easy.
And I think, and that's like one of the main reasons why I wanted to, because I feel like I just don't, because I get tired of like venting to people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to tap into what's going on with me, really ask what's going on, and it's only so much somebody can endure and you know what I mean, kind of retain from somebody when they're not in that space, when they're not going through child support, or they're not going through it, or they didn't take their
Yeah,
child's father.
people won't
They
understand
won't
unless you're in
understand, and
it.
they
Yeah.
think you just venting, and it's a lot for them to absorb. But one of the key things I want to just say, you know what I'm saying, as we continue this conversation,
Yeah.
is one of the main things that makes it a criminal process is some of the questioning that comes from the prosecutor.
Hmm.
Like, for example, I've been found in contempt, which is a willful or intentional failure to pay child support, which is totally not the case. You know what I'm saying? So when they called me in and I did my contempt hearing and everything else, this was the first way. I don't even have to get into the whole story, but the first way they deterred it was they brought me in and they wanted an explanation as to why I wasn't paying child support. Now, I was actually filing a Social Security disability claim, right? And it was for post incarceration syndrome, PTSD. I'm determined to be medically frail, all of this, right? So where they spent me at was, well, Mr. Nichols, why haven't you been paying your child support? And I said, because I was filing a Social Security disability claim. They said, well, what was the order of the court? What was the conclusion? And that's where the spin was at, because it wasn't a matter of what the conclusion was.
Yeah.
You wanted an explanation as to why I wasn't paying. What I was supposed to do was present documentary evidence. This is when the hearing was. This is who was representing me. This is when the conclusion date was. If I provided all of that, then guess what? I'm not guilty of contempt,
Yeah.
right? Now, what was the outcome of it? That's later. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The process takes 2 or 3 years. All you were trying to prove is why I hadn't been paying in this time. Short story shorter, they still found me guilty of contempt.
Yep.
Just from that whole little play. I'm getting
Yep.
caught up on, well, no, they said that they denied it, but you know, I'm supposed to refile and I got an appeal coming up and I got lost in
Mhm.
those woods when the whole thing was no, all you were supposed to do now, if you came in there and said, hey, I've been fighting this disability claim, and they said, well, where's your evidence? Well, no, I haven't called the lawyer yet, but I'm going to. Now, okay, Mr. Nichols claims this, but we don't have no evidence of that's what he actually did. For them to actually have the evidence that I did it and still find me guilty of contempt and place 60 days on the shelf, I have a 60-day sentence hanging over my head right now. It's been hanging over my head since like November, right?
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I've been to
Yeah.
court like 6 or 7 times for my compliance of this, just as if I was never paying child support.
Yeah.
So I took advantage of that time and went and started filing a modification. Mind you, I hadn't been able to get a modification in 6 years. I hadn't been able to get a hearing for a modification in 6 years. So the moment they put me under contempt, I said, you know what? Can I get a modification?
Right.
Since we here anyway, since I got to keep coming to court, can I get a modification?
Somebody, I was watching a video, and I'm glad you said that, because that rung a bell in my head real quick. Because in that video, somebody was saying, "Tell me how it makes sense to go ahead and be to fix the future generation.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it make sense to go ahead and be like, all right, if they're not, for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
it could be good, it could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it a good idea to go ahead and lock up the father? But then you don't normally see that the other
Right.
way. But then it's very easily seen
Mm-hmm.
just to go ahead and lock up the spouse, the father, the mom. I don't care who it is. That doesn't make sense to me, because it's just like the problem isn't, oh, the money. The problem is the impact on the youth,
For sure.
and then the generations to come. And that's why it keeps getting worse and worse
sure.
and worse and worse, is
Yeah.
because who's worried about the money?
Right.
Not us.
Right.
We're not worried about the
Right.
money. Big Daddy government's worried about, like, why aren't you paying this money, bro? We got
Yeah.
you on this contract now. Like,
Yeah.
what's up?
And see, that's the segue. I'm not even gonna touch. I'm gonna respect the show. No, for real. That's where
I'm just saying.
This would be a place where I would be like, man, eat this. I don't even want to.
Yeah, no, that's
Like
for a different show.
if
Wait, you know what? That's a good segue into. Wait a minute. What's this other podcast I heard about that's supposed to be coming out?
It's supposed to be coming out. We ain't gonna put a date on it, but it's definitely in my line. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
In my line, the cases. My channel is in division.
Uh-huh.
Still tune into this one. Still
Yes,
tune in.
you got to tune in.
You still got to be over here.
100%.
If you want to see how I elaborate on what you just said,
Yeah.
on why they locked the father up, then they can go peep these segments I'm about to have on.
Hey.
So
You better break some stuff down about this. First off, let's start with what the podcast is. What's the name?
It's called Am I Lying?
Am I Lying?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just start from there. Am I Lying? What's it about? Going.
So Am I Lying is almost a challenge. It's almost a challenge podcast. It's like a I come in and I've been around. You know what I'm saying? I've been around the town. I done did a lot of days. I got a lot of stories, and some of the topics is just going to be some of the pillars and some of the staples of Fort Wayne. For real. You know what I mean? We could do All Night Skating. We could do Southside Showdown. We could do Star Quest. We could do CMB. We could do whatever you want to do as far as what I know.
Hell yeah.
And the challenge is if what I say is not factual, it ain't no receipts. Am I lying? And then
I like that.
That's the invite.
Hold up. I like that. I like that.
That's the invite for anybody.
So you're gonna start off with like a certain topic,
For sure.
and then people get to kind of respond
Boom.
or rebuttal that topic.
Rebuttal. If
Okay.
they feel like, oh no, that ain't how.
That don't make sense.
You need to be a guest. You need to be a guest.
Bro, we got something in the works. We already talked about it. We already talked about it.
Come on, you need to come set the record.
Hey, bro. I'll set the bar high. Don't get me started, bro.
Yeah, bro, let's go. So, that's and it's general topics, oriented topics. You had to be there. I'm a guy that's been there for a lot of things, bro.
I'm very passionate. Like now, I know it wasn't before, but as I get older, especially like, I believe personally that a father, like once you're bestowed with the blessing of becoming a father or a mother, that your mentality changes, and it changes for the better. It means you're growing, you're maturing.
Right.
I think that you start entering. We've all seen Pokemon. We evolve. You evolve into different stages.
Right.
So like this is like not my final form, but kind of like your middle form of where you start waking up to what's actually going on in the world rather than just being shielded like the kid version. I believe, and disclaimer, just because you don't have a kid doesn't mean you can't wake up to it. But I think 99.9% of people, majority of people, once they have a kid, they understand that there's a lot of indoctrination going on out there. Sorry, I butchered that word. But indoctrinate. But no, there's a lot of that going on right now where they're trying to brainwash certain people into believing certain things, and it's just like, just, you can do whatever you want to everybody, but leave the kids alone.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing a lot of stuff I don't like right now.
Sure.
And it just needs to be talked about, and too many people are scared to talk about certain things because like they don't want to be canceled, they don't want to be shamed, they don't want to have a label over their heads of like, oh, they're misogynistic for like just saying this one thing about women, or just saying that or not even just saying it, just being like, hey man, maybe they can work on this. You know, I have, like, we hear stuff about guys all the time. We gotta take that on the chin, and we do, respectfully, we do. But am I lying?
Am I lying, man?
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man. So, I mean, I don't got to keep, you know, I kind of gave the basis of what I felt like about with the child support thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just told you, like the contempt thing, to actually be in that space and just want to bring awareness to what's going on. Like you said, it may help somebody if we ask them what kind of work we're doing. Like you said, for the family unit to remain intact. You know, these are some of the pressures that one's face when it gets this serious and you actually have a father. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to toot my own horn or whatever, but you do get dudes that's like, see, that's why I just go ahead and map off. You know what I'm saying? I've been and went to the next state, or I won't work a job, or I won't whatever, you feel what I'm saying? But it's like, look, I don't have no problem with the money. Like you said, the money's not a problem. Yeah. But if I'm not making the money that you put me in for, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have to expose that, even though it's going to have to be exposed. It's called imputation. They're imputing incorrect amount, and that's how the guys get in the red. You know what I mean? They usually go to court after they're in debt for not paying child support. Mm-hmm. But when you impose an order and you don't care if the guy has a job or not, you know what I mean? I was literally 5 days out of the county when I went to child support. So there's no way I would have a job. But they was like, well, we can't put zero in there.
Well, that's what I was saying before. Like, it has nothing to do with the people. Like, that's a government thing now. Once you sign your name on the dotted line, man, they got you.
And I talk all about that too. The signatures, I talk all about that, man. But, you know, I want to, like you said, family, and I want to lighten up. Since we talk about Am I Lying? Let's talk about.
It's got to be positive stuff. It can't be negative.
It can't
or
be
telling. How about this? It can't be hard, cold truth all the time.
No,
it could be light jabs.
It can be light jabs, like controversy. It could be an opinion. It could be an opinion that I could be having.
Yeah.
Which isn't really factual, and somebody might be like, "I don't agree with that." Am I lying? You know,
and here, just for the females out there too that are watching the show, I don't want you guys to be all getting green, the steam popping out the head, teapot right now. So I'll go ahead. I'll play devil's advocate.
For sure.
You know, I'll rock on their side real quick.
Sure.
I'll say this: guys need to stand up nowadays, and we need to have something to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, I think there's more. It's not like we're promoting it, mm-hmm. but nobody's kind of stopping it from being playing both sides, mm-hmm. being on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
There is a time and a place to be on the fence when you're playing devil's advocate, such as now, where it's just like, look, I can hear you.
Yeah.
But I have this conversation with my lady all the time where it's just like, we can have this when we stand in the middle and be like, oh yeah, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to come a time and a place where that shit means nothing, bro. Yeah. Where it's just like, you need this decision now,
mm-hmm.
or we're out.
Facts.
Or this house is gone. This car is gone.
Facts.
This relationship is over with. You know, there's a time and a place where it's just like, we need a hardcore answer.
Mm-hmm.
There's right and there's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I feel like we are living in this participation trophy era where it's just like, you get a trophy, you're great, you're amazing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being this hypergamous thing. Like, we have a hierarchy as a man playing basketball. Somebody wins, somebody loses.
Right. Somebody has to.
You might take this L now, but you might become better, and then you might be better than later on.
Mm-hmm.
but you just need to know that takes time.
Right.
That's what builds character. That's
sure.
what builds determination, where you can actually poise, where you can actually overcome something.
No doubt.
And that's what we're missing, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like breeding something else right now, where it's causing so much more turmoil and problems, and people don't see it. So,
Yeah.
what you think about that?
Man, I gotta agree with you. Like you said, it's the point that you made. It's things that I've covered, like I said in my other segments that I'm having on my other show. But I do agree with that point. You know what I'm saying?
It's that's for guys.
That's for guys. I mean, I'm living in a situation, just small part to show the example of how I agree with that is that I actually help a young lady, right? Her children's fathers, in my opinion, I would love to have this kind of understanding come from my children's mothers, right? So I know what it is to have a woman who won't go down there to child support. And that's a rare thing, but it does exist. So to the women, as you said, we're not bashing them because most of this is motivated off the fact that I have seen women who say, I'm not going to do that. Even my child's mother, one of them has kind of said, should I have done that in the beginning? Because now she's not really tripping. She's knowing later in life different things I've handled, ways I've handled her being married and everything else, and telling my son, you can't disrespect, step up.
100%.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those things. So she's like, I never seen that coming from you. And that's not the guy I put on child support. You feel what I'm saying? So now I kind of feel like it's interrupting his life, especially when I hear how much of a problem he's having. So it's definitely not to bash the women. Just like I feel like women mature faster than men. They have to. They're about to carry life at one point in time.
Because I will say that if there's two things I would want people to have more of, at least now, like I believe, like there's always steps to becoming better. So I'll say phase one, I believe that people just need to give people the room to grow. So like all these grudges, like homeboy or homegirl might have did you real nasty,
real greasy,
real grimy,
right?
Drug your ass through the mud,
right?
And gave you every reason in the book to hate them.
For sure.
But that hate is not going to do anything for you in your heart. It's not going to help you grow. It's not going to help them. So giving them the room to actually become a better person and actually be believable to yourself, like, oh, maybe it's possible that so-and-so actually did change. I'm going to give them a chance. Now, just because you give them a chance, too, does not make you weak. A lot of people might be like, oh, I'm never giving them a chance. You just weak for that. It's like, no, you're not. Actually, that's the strongest thing you can do is give it into somebody else's hands.
Yeah.
If that whatever they do, that's on them at that point. So if you break it again, you broke it again, man. And I gave you your chance.
Wash your hands.
It's over. And then the second one I would say is people need to acknowledge that they can be wrong. Simple as that. Because there's a lot of people nowadays, even myself, I have my moments. I believe you probably have your own moments where it's just like you might not see how you could possibly be wrong.
I can't.
You can't see it. I always tell my lady too. It's just like there's gonna be times where it's just like you just gotta show me. Like it's just not gonna make sense. Like the calculations ain't gonna make the math ain't math.
And math ain't math.
If you could show me how the X's and the O's or how the numbers are crunching to actually make sense,
boom,
then I'll shut up. I'll start laughing. because I can see.
Show me how it makes sense to you. Even if it don't make sense to me, show me how you came up with that.
Right.
I can even be, like you said, I don't even have to admit that I'm wrong. Can I admit that I didn't see it the way you seen it?
I like that.
I could definitely do that.
I like that.
I don't even have to tell you I don't agree. But I can see how you came up with that.
Yeah.
But if I can't even see how you even fathom that, that's the problem right there. Like it don't make sense to me and I don't even understand how you got there. Now we got a problem. But if you can show that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. I wouldn't have done it that way.
I'm with it.
Man, Cheno over here schooling me. Don't let
man. They be sleeping on the show, bro. I got a lot to talk about. I might have to be a guest on that show. Not even a guest. I might have to be somebody. I might have to be somebody on that show.
You know what I mean? Okay, I'm ready to have a little bit of fun, man. So on the Am I Lying tip, wrap this up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I appreciate you even coming through and finishing this for me, man.
Yeah, I got you.
So the reason I wanted to put this out is because I don't necessarily need to do a copyright. So Am I Lying? Friday, right? The last installment of Friday, Okay? I will lay claim to the fact that before the news came out, bro, word out to JT, Jamarcus Turner, JT Comedy Official, word out to him. I had this concept for this last Friday. And the reason I could talk about it is because now the date has passed. I don't know. Fun Friday facts. Did you know Friday only took 20 days to shoot?
No,
the first one.
I did not know that.
The first one only took 20 days to shoot. I want to say they got in between $400 to $4,000. You know what I'm saying? Per actor. You know what I mean? I don't know if you know the New Line Cinema. We don't got time to go through all of it. But one of the biggest things they were saying that the reason that they weren't doing last Friday was because New Line Cinema owned all of the properties and the rights and everything else. Couldn't clear it with that. You know what I mean? Even Cube Vision was like a partnership with New Line Cinema. You know what I mean? So everybody was like, why is he taking so long to make one? You know what I mean? So it's crazy because what I said was, okay, if New Line Cinema owns all the characters, and so many of them have died off. Did you know that 6 people died out of
Yeah,
Friday?
I knew that.
Yeah. So 6 people died out of Friday, and they like almost what could have happened. I said, why don't you make a totally different storyline? You get what I'm saying? You can still have certain
parallel
universe, but they still know exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying?
They could damn near even reference it. They might be watching.
Boom. You get what I'm saying? So it was ways to do it. So I was like, I know Q genius enough because he came up with the film to do this in the beginning, right? So the story goes, it was a bar. This is something else. We call it rhyme stamp, time stamp, this, that, and third. So I said, JT was working the dough, had that envelope. I told him, you know what to do. We had a new Friday. We called it the 4th. And later that year, they said they did too. So that was a bar because literally Mike Epps usually comes into Fort Wayne before he does his We Them Ones comedy tour. He did this, I want to say 24. He did it 25 this year. When he did it 25, I told JT, who was actually working the door. He wasn't even on set. He was working security. Tell him wants to come out. I couldn't make it out to the show. And I had the whole, basically, outline of a script. I didn't know how to script or nothing like this. Me and my wife were sitting here, write little pieces to this. We put it together. We just slapped JT name on it. Was like, look, bro, when Mike Epps got this box of gifts, or when somebody giving him his gifts, put this in his stuff. You know what I'm saying? Gave him a copy. We kept a copy. Poor man's copyright. Send it to yourself. Don't open it. You know what I'm saying? That's how serious I was about it. Literally, 3 months after this show, Mike Epps comes out with the news that the new Friday comes out. All right? I'm telling you, it was post after post about how it couldn't happen. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm sitting there not necessarily thinking, oh, they read my outline and now they finna do it off what I did it. But coincidentally, you did it right after I had this exchange. Called JT. I'm like, did you was you able to pass it off to him? He said, I put it in the box. I put it in the box of gifts. There was security by there. I passed it off. That's all I had to do. So coincidentally, they talking about it. So now the reason I could come out here and say something about it is because the time that they could have did it, they are now past it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They are not. You can't even. So the last time that the 4th of July fell on a Friday, I want to say was in 2020 or 2019. No, 2019, it was a Thursday. It was supposed to be on a Friday in 2020, but leap year or something messed that up. All right. Now, the actual first Friday dropped in 1995. You know what I'm saying? So 95 to 2005.
Yeah.
2005 to 2015 would have been the 20th anniversary, and 2020 would have been the 25th, which is when they usually celebrate these movies. But in 2020, for some reason, the 4th of July wasn't on Friday. Now, this is why this is so...
Man, this conspiracy is going deep over here.
This is how this is so specific. So, like you said, instead, you said parallel universe.
Yeah.
Instead of calling it last Friday, here was my play. I had O'Shea Jackson Jr. playing the sports analyst, something like Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless or whatnot. And he was actually interviewing athletes who got injured. And it was called Ballers Breakdown. You know what I'm saying? He was catching flack because it was controversial. The Derrick Roses, the people who got injured, people who don't play anymore, this, that, and third. Boom. So he's doing this Ballers Breakdown. Kind of play on the big three and everything else. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen Paid in Full?
Yeah.
Paid in Full. You remember Mr. Pibb?
I do.
Mr. Pibb was O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s pop.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Jennifer Lewis, the very spicy auntie from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That was his mom. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So the picture is painted. He has a requirement as the youngest or somebody who was chosen out the hat that this year he's supposed to take care of the 4th of July barbecue for the family. And his dad don't care nothing about him being uppity and having this money. Right. You're going to do it like tradition. You're going to go to the stores we go to. You're going to get the meat we get. We're going to do all this, this, and the third. I don't care nothing about your bougie employment. You're going to come and do this, right? So the opening credits or the opening scenes is him flying in or coming in, driving in. His assistant. Now, mind you, this is where the conspiracy theory come in. His assistant is Megan Good. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the reason it's Megan Good, you probably know, paying homage to the first movie, because this was Lil Mama that was outside of the food truck. I can't stand him. That's Megan Good. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people know, a lot of people don't.
Okay.
So what it was, her love interest, and this developed over time. I was gonna have Michael B. Jordan because I seen him do like a bully role. I seen him play tough guy. You know what I'm saying? But at the time that I'm thinking of this, now I'm thinking of this in prison. But I come out and I develop it more as I come home. So when I seen Jonathan Majors actually get canceled for the little situation he had, and he played the bully in Creed 3, I was like, he'd be a perfect bully. Mind you, this is before he hooks up with Megan Good. This is pre him hooking up with her. Mm-hmm. So me and Baby had like, that's nuts. Like she the first one that reached out and helped them, and then they became a couple weeks like, that's nuts. Got to write it in there. So what we wrote was that, for real, bro, that's real. So what we wrote was that she was assistant and her jealous boyfriend didn't like how much time her and O'Shea Jackson Jr. was spending together. So he's never went on any of her with it, but he's like, oh, this one where you got to go to this barbecue or something, I'm going to be at that one because I don't like your work relationship with your work husband anyway. Okay. So that's Debo in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
DC Young Fly, everybody said that because he played Smoke. But here's the thing. I had DC Young Fly playing an intern for Ballers Breakdown. And word out to MWK to GOAT because he has a show called Bars Breakdown. So Ballers Breakdown, Mike Epps is from Indianapolis. Ballers Breakdown, ode to Indianapolis. Ballers Breakdown, this, that, and third. So DC Young Fly was the intern, was coming down there, and this is the only way he can get stuff done. He's like, I got to do it myself. I got a little bit of help, and I don't got my assistant's help because her boyfriend is on her A. Okay, so this is the story. His love interest was going to be Ice Spice, but you seen what happened. Respectfully, you seen what happened to Ice Spice. You feel what I'm saying? No. Ice Spice don't look like what Ice when she first got cast.
Okay,
you see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be real respectful. You ever heard of can't think of her name right now, but that wasn't the first love interest I had. So it's somebody outside. Megan Good is not the love interest. Okay. It's perceived that because Megan Good is still old enough, they still kind of whatever in age could
makes sense.
Makes sense. But it's like, nah, that's not Ray Veloso. Anybody watching this, look up Ray Veloso. She used to date Drake. This was gonna
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Look up Ray Veloso. This was gonna be the love interest. So outside of Ray Veloso, she's upset to Megan Good, this, and the third. So the whole thing, the whole premise of the movie was that how does he do this? Mind you, this all in one day. How does he do this traditional family barbecue when he got Jonathan Majors on his A? He can't get the help he needs from Megan Good. DC Young Fly's sponsor keeps calling him because he's an intern, but he kind of on probation. I got a sponsor calling. Right. Now, the reveal, I can spoil it now because it's not going to happen. The reveal was that his sponsor is going to be Chris Tucker. Smokey.
That'd be dope.
You see what I'm saying?
That'd be a cool.
Because that's the reason Smokey would never play the films. That's the reason Chris Tucker would never come in, is because his image from being in Rush Hour and other places, he didn't want to be represented to the children as being somebody who dealt with drugs. So now here's a role that he can play that's, oh, no, I'm sponsoring somebody who's doing this now. You feel what I'm saying? So when they find out, everybody know this Smoke. But like you said, we in parallel universe. No, I got out of that. I went to rehab. And then I actually became a sponsor. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That and third. My former life I used to do. Boom. And that's how we playing that. So the whole thing was, and I had a dope because, you know, the first Friday you had a real lesson at the end of it. And the lesson was going to be that at the helm of Jonathan Majors and O'Shea Jackson Jr. getting into it, it was going to kind of be a police report into a situation. And now it became more important to protect your brother because they might shoot us. Ooh. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know I've been beefing with you all day, and I know you think I'm messing with your girl and everything.
Bro, if you got this idea, why don't you just do it yourself?
Here it is. Let me tell you why we can't do this, right? Let me tell you why. What did you think I was gonna call this Friday? I had already said it, and I told you, I gave you a hint. It wasn't even gonna be called Friday. It wasn't gonna be called last Friday, nothing.
No.
It was gonna be called the 4th.
Ooh.
Which Friday movie would this be though?
The 4th.
What day was the 4th of July on this year? Friday. If he would have listened to what I said, if Mike Epps put that to Cube and said, you shot the first Friday in 20 days in 95, guy. You feel me? This dude gave you this before February. You understand me? We had more than enough time to bring this storyline, drop this on July the 4th of Friday. The 4th? With all them stars I just named, they already gonna know what time it is. It's over with now. This was like I want to say this was the 30th anniversary. Yeah, it was the 30th anniversary. From 95 to now, 30th anniversary. Whenever they drop it, it's going to be like the 31st anniversary. That makes no sense. You feel what I'm saying? You had light with the 25th. You had light with the 30th.
You could have just bundled all this stuff up, got some people like that aren't like they're not gonna be that star casted, but
For
it's
sure.
just like you could have just built this stuff though.
It started with Cheno Royal right now. It started with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would be interested in doing this show.
I'm
shout out to Dre because like I wanted to do Dre's movie.
Yeah.
That he had like a whole scheme of like me being like an artist and like yada 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 stuff happening in the studio.
Right.
I don't have the whole breakdown, but like I even want to do that. I'm like I want to see some movies. I know some movies be shot here.
Yeah.
Like I want to see if you got something.
I got stuff. This was just an example of how much I was thinking and what I was saying when the connections of JT being close enough to even pass. Now, I'm interested in what it's going to be because they said officially they're doing the last Friday. Whatever they had to work out, they're still doing it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the significance of it and the way I thought around the box is what I could always take credit. Am I lying? You see what I'm saying?
That's a smooth transition. That's a smooth transition. I see what you did.
That'd be it. You know what I'm saying? It's really this. And now before nobody else has said it. Everybody else said how it wouldn't work, how they couldn't do it. Too many of the people died. There's no storyline. You're absolutely right. You can't continue on that same storyline of Craig and Day and everything else. But Cube would have made a cameo and he would have been dude Uncle. You see what I'm saying? He would have been O'Shea Jack. Yes, this is your dad, but come on, that's Unc. You feel what I'm saying? Don't know where I could have threw you. It could have been that. You see what I'm saying? This could still be, oh, that's your cousin. You know what I'm saying? I'm your uncle. I'm not your dad. Your dad is Buddy from Paid in Full. You feel what I'm saying? So this is an extension of the family that one's just like, okay, that's Friday. Okay, the 4th. Okay, it's a mention of it, but it's not enough to say you using the same character. They don't even got lines or something. What's up, Unc? You know what I'm saying? Totally different role. I don't have to say Uncle Craig. You feel what I'm saying? What's up, Unc? Over here with Pops. He making me do this barbecue. You already know how that go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it almost seemed like a blend of Paid in Full and Friday.
Come on, bro. Come on, Ace. Come on. Come in here with this hippity hoop.
You know what I'm fucking talking about? That's all I'm saying.
You coming in here with this hippity hoop? But you can. That's why I'm choosing Chico Pibb and all that for these whole things. Jennifer, like I said, Jennifer Lewis. That's a sassy mom. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know who would play sister. I don't even know how sister had to be there. I just had all of this thought out, man. So I just had to put it somewhere on a very reputable platform. You know what I'm saying? Versus me doing a live, versus me doing something else. I said, let me go ahead and give it Cheno. You know what I'm saying? Put this out here and just know that. At first I was like, man, should I do it? Because it ain't been copyrighted. But I was like, it's already past the time. You know what I'm saying? It can't. Even if you did it, it wouldn't have been as dope if you would have did it. I think the 4th of July don't fall on Friday for like another 5 years or something like that.
But then that's where the whole parallel universe could be. Like you can start your own thing.
For sure.
It don't always gotta be on the same stuff as what you got going on. I understand the whole story though. It would have worked out perfectly. But maybe that's the stars telling you that you should be the director.
You know what?
It's your story. You should do it.
They're gonna use this one to say, okay, if he
maybe Cube was just like, that's too good, bro. He's like, I don't want the money. I don't want the money.
You work there. You
do the shit, bro. Somebody else be Craig.
Hey, man. Hey, check it out. For him to be doing the big 3 and Ballers Breakdown, man, it would have been crazy.
You know what? That would have been dope. Who knows? Let's say that shit blow up.
Come on.
And then he's just like, look, I see what you're doing. I could walk in as if you need me to.
If you need me to.
Mike Epps roll into town and be like, hey, I did see that in my suitcase. I wanted you to have that money, but now that we here,
boom. Just send me
tap in.
Send me a couple tickets, man, when it come out, man.
That's all I'm saying, you know? That's all I'm saying.
Well, for sure, man. That's all I wanted to do, man. I once again I want to thank you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nothing else I wanted to really touch on. Like I said, I got things coming out. We got Emmeline, we got Rhyme Stamp. You know what I'm saying? That's where we pinpoint dates through the rhymes. You know what I'm saying? I got Live for the Legendary, Live for the Legendary. That's video mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm doing that. And of course, I got Live for Last Night. That's every Saturday. WLT 95.7. You know what I'm saying? Dopest radio show is looking to be extended. It was an hour. Might go to 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody else that's in the party. Last thing I want to say is that I'm moving from my artistry to where, you know, I'm okay. Like you said, it may not have been meant. I'm not one of those guys that's caught up that's like still doing music to say I'm relevant or trying to get on. I'm in a place where I'm like, you know, I had my time. And now even with this nightlife, I need somebody else to come be the correspondent for that. Because my schedule finna change to where you going to have to tell me what happened at a certain demonstration.
Yeah.
And they don't want to always hear it from my perspective because I might be status right now and be like, oh, some YNs in there doing what they want to post. No. We want to hear about the party, man.
Hey, you evolving. Like what we talked about in the very beginning,
Come on,
man.
you know it.
Not as final form, but we getting there.
We getting there,
and I hope you are too.
For sure.
But until next time, y'all stay royal out there.
Bitch, I'm numb. Middle of overload, know I can stay in the cold. Trying to the shit to go, nigga, we ballin'. Everything in the pot, holding the clutch. I don't know what we.
Hey, yo, I definitely appreciate y'all for checking out this here video. Make sure you go ahead and check out any of the new and old content that is right above me. And make sure y'all stay royal out there.
Family.
Peace.
Duh. We all got family.
Duh.
The fuck?
I was with you. I was riding with that.
Well, I know what it was.
It was the intro. It was the glasses and the and you got
that's what it was.
It had to be from that side.
Hey, baby, I'm loving that sass, the way you carry yourself. Got me going crazy. Yeah. Hey, why is she working that wrong way? She the queen bee, no Beyonce. Fellas rubbing neck in every second, she a weapon, hit 'em up, bang, 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 with that attitude. Hey, 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 bang, bang, with that. Yeah, you're working that wrong way. Sweeter than a Sunday, oh, late. All the hands speaking, so you know I'm tweaking. When I see the cheeky, and when you make it look so easy, lazy. Let me bless you like you be a little sleazy. Man, speak freely. Here I go. When I see you first, like dang on when you walk like whoa, go.